Hey guys, so in the past we've taken a look at the Frame Music Girl Hatsune Miku kit from Kotobukiya. Today we're taking a look at the Frame Arms version, which is just going to be the robot version of Miku here in the Frame Arms line. Those of you guys who are Miku fans out there should really like this one, so let's go ahead and get right into the review. So we'll start off by taking a look at the box and its contents. Beautiful artwork here on the front, as usual for the Frame Arms and Frame Arms Girl line in general. They always kind of have this similar format, and it's interesting how they've gone with somewhat of a mix of the styling here for this one, which does kind of make sense with our beautiful illustration there of the mechanized Miku. Just really nice detailed illustration there, all the way down to the markings on her as well. On the bottom of the box, you can see this is number 59 in the Frame Arms lineup. And going over here on the side, we just have a look at the front and back of the kit once it's all painted and detailed up. Gimmicks including how the hair separates out like that. That all looks very cool. And then we have some decals and head and face parts included with this. So in case you wanted to make it a little bit more realistic, having like a human sort of face, you have hair and face parts for that, and then some decals for that as well. It looks like we've also got some decals for the markings on the kit. Then around here on the front of the box, you can see exactly how the kit is going to look as an unpainted sample. So just built up straight out of the box, that's how it's going to look. And over here, we got the list price of 6,800 yen for this one. Let's go ahead and open up that box if we can get it open. We'll take a look through all of the runners in just a moment. Let's first take a quick look at the instruction manual. There's a nice big reference photograph of the painted kit there on the front. Around here on the back, there's our color guide, in case you don't want to refer to that, as well as the decal guide here as well. On the inside page here, we've got our parts list, including a lot of extra parts that we're not going to be using for this one. The rest of this is just going to cover the construction, but interestingly, they included this center page here, which is typical for Frame Arms, so it's nice that they continued this, even though this is a little bit different. But Frame Arms kits typically have a page here at the center that gives you some sort of like backstory, as well as some information about some of the detailed aspects of the kit. So it's cool they did that for this. It's all in Japanese, but I imagine it's just some information about our Miku here, and then her equipment that we have. The rest of this is then just going to cover the rest of the construction all the way till the end there, and that's it. So let's go ahead and check out the runners. So a couple things to take a look at here. First of all, we have our base plate, which is in a gloss black, and then our hand option parts all in white will include holding hands, trigger finger hands, open resting hands, open expressive hands, and closed fists. We do also have our single pre-printed face here, which does look very nice, but of course we do also have the waterside decals, which will give you some different options for the eyes. Basically, instead of looking forward, you can have her slightly looking left or looking right, and then some markings for the kit itself. Runners A, B, and C are all going to be in that signature Miku teal greenish blue kind of color, bluish I guess it's mostly. There's runner B and then runner C. We've got two of those. Runners D and E, we have some options for both of these. Runner D, you have in either white or in skin tone. Those are exactly the same. For runner E, we also have in white and in skin tone, but the parts are slightly different. The skin tone parts are just plain, like they're meant to just look like skin, whereas the white parts do have some molded detail in them to sort of look like panel lines as if she were a robot. Runner F is some more white parts here for the kit, including this very hunting face part. Runner G is a larger runner with a bunch of parts here in black. Runner H is going to be a combo breaker here with some dark green parts there for the body, because then runner I, like runner G, is back to a large runner full of black parts. Runner J is a few parts here in a lighter gray color, and lastly runner K is back to black, and we have two of the K runner, and that's it for all the parts. Alright guys, so here is the kit all built up and really nice. I do like that it shares some parts with the Frame Music Girl Miku kit, but there's a lot of it different as well. So if you guys have built the Frame Music Girl kit, some of the parts will be familiar, some of the kit, you know, you'll be building again. But there is enough here in this kit, and there's enough different about this kit that I think it definitely warrants having both, especially if you're a Miku fan, of course. The new, especially like the mechanical parts for the hair are really cool. And the robot face, of course, very interesting. But you have the option to make the regular face as well. So let's take a look at the option parts. So if you wanted to change the face to the more human looking one, you can just remove that part, remove that face, put on the regular face and regular hair parts here like this. You can have her like that, which is pretty cool, although I do think that just for the overall style of the design, I think the robot face actually does look a bit nicer. But if you wanted to change a few more parts to flesh tone, the upper arms there, you can change from white to these flesh tone parts here. And the same thing for the thighs. Now for this part here on the side of the thigh, you have a flesh tone color piece for that, but I thought it looked better to have that in black just because of the nature of that, the design of that part. You have an option part here that will give you an attachment point to replace that green band there on the arm if you wanted to attach something onto there. And the same thing for down here on the legs as well if you wanted to have something attached into the side of the leg. We also have parts that will do the same thing, but rather than a green piece that will just be like kind of added onto the outside, this just replaces this piece here, the side panel of the thigh. You can have that just in white or in black or in skin tone. You have parts for that in every color. And then for like this open sleeve part, so this lower part of the arm is meant to open up like that, so you just have to swap that part out, and it's a really cool little option piece here. It's all molded in black, so in order to get it to look like how it looks in the manual, you will have to paint that, but that makes for a pretty cool effect. We've of course got her mic on the mic stand here, which is very nice. The stand for the kit itself, which as usual is just on a ball joint there at the bottom, and then the attachment piece up here at the top is also on a ball joint, so you can change the angle of that and then slide it up and down as needed. And then our kind of speaker attachment parts that will attach right on here onto the back. Those will wrap up and around the sides of the skirt like that to kind of close in, or you can have them opened up out like that. And for the connection piece here at the back, you have an option for this. Now, this one has it so that you can attach this onto the base, but there's another option that is like the same or similar shape, but it doesn't have any option to plug this onto the base. In that case, you could just plug the base connector here right into her back if you needed. And then aside from the different hand parts that we have included, that's basically going to just about cover everything. So not a whole lot in terms of like other accessories, or like with the Framt Music Girl, you have the speakers as added accessories in there as well. So it kind of would have been nice to have something like that, if not those same parts, but something similar included with this kit, just to give us a little bit more in the way of like accessory parts to go with the Miku kit, with this being just the Miku and the mic essentially, and then just kind of the option parts and just kind of like the speaker equipment that wraps around her waist there. There is not a whole lot there with it, but there is obviously plenty of opportunity to customize this if you wanted to. And I mean, for it being Hatsune Miku, I mean, just for her to have her microphone and a couple of speakers, I mean, that really just kind of suits the style well enough. I feel like it doesn't necessarily need a whole more. It just kind of maybe would have been nice to include something a little bit more like how the Framt Music Girl comes with the speakers, something along those lines. But anyway, overall, really cool design, really interesting take on the Miku character. Of course, here having this robot version of her, I think is very cool. So like I said, if you're a fan, then it's definitely worth picking up this kit. I definitely like this one quite a lot because I really like the Framt Music Girl kit, and I've built a couple of those, and another one coming up with the new collaboration with the Toys version of that. That's going to be up very soon for review. But it was really cool building this one as well because, like I mentioned, it's different enough that it was quite interesting to build. And I especially think it's going to look good once you get in there and paint everything up and pull out all the details and everything, because there's a lot of mechanical details in there that are going to look really good once you kind of really highlight them by painting in some grays or some other different colors in there, whatever color you want to go with, or some like really nice metallic colors could look really cool, would fit the style, I think. But that's about it here for the Framt Arms Hatsune Miku. What do you guys think about it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Are you a fan of this one? Do you prefer this one or the Framt Music Girl, or do you prefer that one? Let me know your thoughts. And if you guys are looking for either kit or anything from Kotobukiya, you of course can check the link to USA Gundam Store. That'll be down in the video description below. We got all sorts of good stuff there for you guys, including paints, tools, supplies, and all that stuff as well. So check that out. If you guys would also like to like and or subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. But until next time, hope you guys are all having a great day, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.